Welcome back to another beautiful day in the land of music. My name is Douglas, and in today's video, I've got the MPC Key 61 right here in front of me. Now, I haven't been this excited about a keyboard since probably I got the Nord Stage 3, and still love that keyboard, but I am really excited to dive in and to learn and play around with the MPC Key 61. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. The way that I usually go about things is making simple, straightforward how-to videos for beginners. And that's my goal with this keyboard here, is to really dive in, show you guys how to use the keyboard, how to perform the different functions, and kind of break it down in simple step-by-steps for you. Now, the other thing I do is play live at church, and I'm really curious to see how this fits into a live setting, a performance setting, as well as specifically on a worship team. A lot of churches use a controller with main stage to create those layers, and this does have quite a bit of extensive layering functionality with the different tracks and stuff, just with the way that MPC is, but now we have a 61 key semi-weighted keyboard. So I'm interested to see if this can kind of compete with a controller in main stage, where you have to buy the laptop and then the controller, the audio interface, all of that's built in here. So again, I'm really excited about this keyboard. Let me get this unwrapped here, and I'm gonna plug it into my audio interface, which may seem a little bit odd because it has an audio interface built in. If you haven't watched other videos on this keyboard, couple of quick specs that I'm really excited about. 7-inch touchscreen in the middle, 16 drum pads, velocity sensitive with aftertouch, 61 key semi-weighted keyboard with aftertouch. A lot of great functionality. It essentially has a DAW built in, the MPC DAW, and it also synchronizes or integrates with MPC2 software. So not only is it kind of a controller, the MPC Studio was their controller, and I actually have that here. So this is the MPC Studio, and the MPC Studio, it has a really tight integration with the MPC2 software. Now, they've added that or included that with this as well. So if you prefer to use MPC2 on the computer, you can plug this in, you're good to go. So let me get this plugged into my audio interface on the computer so we can test a couple sounds. I've got some big plans for this. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do that now so you don't miss any of the upcoming videos on this. I'm going to be putting a lot of time and effort into learning this keyboard and then producing those simple step-by-step videos for you. If that's up your alley and something you're interested in, go ahead and subscribe. Okay, resituated things, got it plugged in. I just went left, right out of the back and plugged my sustain pedal in, power cord. That's all I've got going on here. There's a lot of inputs and outputs on the back. They're nicely labeled up here at the top, which I really like, especially with like the input gain knobs, being able to reach back there. This has a 2-channel audio interface with phantom power built into it. I will get more into the in-depths of this, but let's go ahead and turn it on. Power back here. Wow. Oh, this is pretty cool. Let me grab my headphones here and make sure we've got a good level with this once it turns on. So we're just going to tap next. Please connect the MPC to the internet to get the latest. So we're just going to hit let's go, and we're going to see where it takes us. It looks like we would have to go into the menu, set up the Wi-Fi. I'll put a little video, like a quick tips video on how to set up the Wi-Fi and talk about the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth because it comes with both of them. So a lot of the controls are very familiar because the MPC Studio controller has them. And so that's really cool that they've kind of incorporated some of the MPC functionality into this board. That being said, the videos that I put out are going to be coming at this from a no background in MPC, because I think a lot of users are going to be picking this keyboard up and wanting to just kind of use this for either performance or in the studio. And especially if you're just getting into it, you don't have a good computer, you want to be able to record, it kind of satisfies that whole workstation avenue as well. So I don't think there's anything out there like this. I've been dreaming of a keyboard like this for years that has DAW capability, the ability to mix and do effects similar to the way you do it on the computer with a touchscreen. I mean, how many other keyboards out there that have a 7-inch touchscreen? I'm going to stop right there. So I'm just going to play a few sounds before we wrap this video up. To do this, I'm just going to tap on play sounds It's going to load up. I guess it's kind of like a demo project that allows us to play some sounds. Very similar to MPC software if you've used that. I think the whole goal around the design here was to really kind of mimic what you do within a DAW, which is really cool because for me, that's kind of a natural way to do things. So you have all of these almost like virtual instruments. So we've got stage piano, and then stage piano has a bunch of different presets in it. Just like if you called up a virtual instrument on your computer, we can go in, let's tap on soft, let's go in and grab the feathers, and that's gonna load that up. I've heard some complaints around load times. We'll see if that's valid, but let's check this out here. I really like how they have the light by the octave up and down. Really clever way to see which octave you're on. You don't have seamless transitions, so when you switch sounds, it does do a hard cut. We'll talk about maybe some ways to work around that, especially for live, because if you're in the studio, not a big deal. But when you're out playing live, especially if I use this in church, I need to figure out ways to bring in other sounds, whether it's by using some of these knobs here or something like that to bring in sounds into my layers. So we'll talk a lot about that here in upcoming videos. Let's go back, check out the electric piano stage EP. Let's go in, do standard. Let's grab some Rhodes here. Maybe a suitcase. You have all of the noises and stuff there. I can tell a lot of thought went into these sounds. So as I mentioned, a lot of capability here, a ton of sounds, and we're gonna go through these, so make sure you're subscribed if that's something that interests you, kind of a step-by-step simple videos on how to use this keyboard. Maybe you're trying to decide if this is a good keyboard for you. It rivals Workstations. I don't think there's anything else out there that has the capabilities that this has. So a couple of questions on my mind is longevity. Are the controls, is the key bed going to stand up to live use? Is it going to stand up to long-term use? And I think everything feels really good to me. No wiggle in the knobs. It's really cool. Like you tap on the knob and it shows you what the controls are for that knob. So we can go through here. We can switch banks on these knobs. So you've got 4 here, 4 banks, so 16 customizable knobs. You have the pads, the pad banks here. You have just a ton of capability. And what's really cool about this is it can be a controller. It can also be a workstation that is self-contained. You can take this 2-channel audio interface and you can record with this. You can make music with this without even turning your computer on. I think that is amazing, especially if you're a songwriter in the studio. You can just turn this on. You can get some beats down. You can get those ideas out without needing to turn on your entire system, audio interfaces, monitors, all of that. I think that's huge. Thousands and thousands of sounds in here. We're going to be exploring all of this over the coming months. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of those videos. Also, because I am not sponsored to make these videos, I bought this with my own money and I do this out of the love of sharing my passion for music and music gear with you guys. So if you're looking to pick this up or other music gear up, I'll throw a link in the top of the description below. If you purchase your gear through there, it's no extra cost to you and it does help me out. A lot of time and effort goes into this video, so I appreciate that so much when you guys buy through that link. Again, I am so excited about this keyboard. I'm gonna be dedicating a lot of time towards it in the near future here. So exciting. And my question to you guys before we go is, what videos would you like to see? If you're looking to buy this or you just bought it and you're trying to figure out you're stuck on something, throw those down in the comments below. I'll take a look at those, figure out what makes sense to make videos of. and I'll put those videos out. I really appreciate the feedback from you guys and the support from you guys on these videos. You're amazing. Thanks for watching. Stay inspired and keep making that music.